You know, sometimes I look back on the Aces Plays channel and think about where we started, how this specific channel was originally started. And it wasn't Aces Plays, it was Aces TCF. And it says it right here in my about description of the channel, which everybody can see the moment they pull this channel up. They will see originally branded as Aces TCF. And it does fade out, but you can see it there. And it does pay homage to where we started. And the Cycle Frontier was something I was pretty passionate about. I really enjoyed it. And in an age, in an era where YouTube algorithm is essentially life or death for starting a YouTube channel, I created a separate channel for the Cycle Frontier, and unfortunately, it just didn't last long. And yes, I did get some views. I didn't really make any money off of the Cycle Frontier because by the time that the Cycle Frontier was sunsetting, I was already moving on to changing the channel to Aces Plays, and I used all of the views and the watch time from Aces TCF and basically just rolled that over into Aces Plays and got this channel monetized. So I wanted to look back at one of the first videos that I put on this channel because I want to talk about why the Cycle Frontier was so great and at the same time how it could still, to this day, even in 2025, be saved, be revived, be profitable. I have already reached out to Epic Games and YAGER Studios in any way I could pretty much figure out, except for publicly chatting in their Discord, because this isn't something I want to publicly talk about, but I've sent emails and I've tried to get in contact about the purchase of the Cycle Frontier, about the purchase of the entire IP, and the purchase of all of the assets. And you might think I'm bullshitting. It's like, what is this 1,500 subscriber channel talking about? Like, this guy, he's a nobody. If you don't know, I run Aces Gaming. I run Aces EFT, which is a Tarkov channel. Everything combined, I think I have about 55,000 subscribers combined, something along the lines of that. And, you know, obviously, I work a real job, and I don't think it'd be too hard to rally investors behind what I have envisioned for the Cycle Frontier. So, let's go ahead and let's load up this video right here. I think this one is pretty cool. I'm not going to have the sound on because I am going to have a commentary here. All right, so you're watching YouTube quality on YouTube, so it's going to be like double processed, and then after I edit this, it's going to be compressed like 3 times. So if it looks like crap, I apologize, but I do want to have a very serious conversation about the Cycle Frontier and why this could easily be a game that could come back in almost its fullest extent. And I'm going to directly compare it to Escape from Tarkov. And, you know, it has been largely always compared to Tarkov. Even when it came out the perfect time, mind you. It came out when the Tarkov wipe at the time, I don't know what it was, but it was so stale, and it was right at the end of the wipe, probably like a month and a half before the game was going to wipe. So the Cycle Frontier had a massive start. I think it was like 36,000 or 46,000 players off the rip, and it was perfect timing, and a lot of people fell in love with the Cycle Frontier. Let's just skip right to it. Where did the Cycle Frontier go wrong? The cheating. That's where it went wrong. And the cheating is the same reason I stopped playing Escape from Tarkov. And that was a while ago. So once the cycle really started kind of getting some popularity, that's obviously when the cheaters start rolling in. And the thing is, with the cycle, it's like one of those games where it doesn't feel as bad as Escape from Tarkov when you get killed by a cheater. Okay, you know, in the cycle, you if you bring in like all purple, all gold, and orange, was that the last one? It's been a long time. I truly don't remember. But if you're bringing in like all purple, you know, all super rare legendary stuff, like, I get it. If you die to a cheater, you're not going to be very happy. There's a lot of things that could be improved with the Cycle Frontier. And there's a lot of things, in my opinion, that weren't great, but there was a lot of things that were. And just take the cheaters out of the equation, right? Does the game die off from there? Let's say there's no cheaters. Would the game have completely died if there are new quests, new maps, new stuff consistently added every 2 months? Something along the lines of that. I don't think the game dies. I think the game would be very I don't want to say it would be like it wouldn't be like a viral sensation, but I think having a player count of 10 to 30,000 players isn't terrible. I think it would be very healthy. And there is so much opportunity for the Cycle Frontier to change completely and still be extremely successful. So I'm going to let you know what I would do publicly. So if there's, some sort of prince somewhere that has oil money that wants to really get in contact with Epic Games and YAGER Studios and really bring this thing back, I would highly suggest you follow this blueprint. So the first thing I would do is turn off online. I would genuinely make this a single player game with co-op capabilities. So you might be asking yourself, well, okay, if you take out the online factor, you're going to have to change a lot. How would you load into the worlds? Well, you would load in like any other video game. I will say one of the best things about the Cycle Frontier was the instant loads. You're literally getting in your pod and you're dropping, you're in the map in what, 10 seconds? It's absolutely insane. Here's the thing, all right? You can get rid of that for the overall health and just bringing the game back. Right now, the Cycle Frontier doesn't exist besides like some sort of Fortnite recreation map, which I haven't checked out, which I actually will check out at some point here in the near future. But you would completely take all online capabilities away when it comes to general matching, and there will be private co-op servers where progression counts. And you're gonna notice a trend, and it's largely inspired from what Escape from Tarkov did, what BSG did, Battlestate Games. They finally caved because SPT was so popular, which is single player Tarkov. It's a mod for Escape from Tarkov. So they made PvE Tarkov, and it was a massive success. The same exact blueprint will be applied to the Cycle Frontier. You would make this game a fully PvE game. You do not need any actual online players for the core game itself to still be fun and enjoyable. You can put in AI prospectors and have them just like AI PMCs over on Escape from Tarkov. The exact blueprint of PvE Tarkov can be applied to the Cycle Frontier, and the Cycle Frontier would see massive success. It would be massive, and that's without a doubt. And that's why I'm so confident in, if I was given the rights to the game, I would do exactly what BSG did. And I would absolutely revive this game. I would make it my entire life's work. I would drop everything if it meant quitting my job and bringing back the Cycle Frontier. You don't understand how much, opportunity there is with this game, especially if you maintain the relationship with Epic Games. Big relationship there. The Cycle Frontier, multiple times during release and after the second season when the game wiped for the first time, where that was the ultimate downfall of the game, and we'll talk about that. We saw a front page banner and pop-up banners for the Cycle Frontier on Steam, okay? There is so much more you could do with this, and then making it a single-player game that allows you to have opportunities to go to the Switch, be able to be played on Steam Deck, go to console. There's so many opportunities here, and we haven't even talked about the microtransactions. The microtransactions in the Cycle Frontier wasn't that great because it did give you an advantage. It is slightly pay to win. The Cycle was easy enough to farm up stuff pretty quickly that it really didn't matter. You're getting like, even at the beginning of a wipe, you're getting like a 1 week head start. It's really not much what you got even in the most expensive version of the game. But there was a pretty large cosmetic interest in the game. The knife, there was a ton of cool knives that they did with Twitch drops and other stuff like that. And then all the weapons. And that doesn't even count when you add more weapons in future DLC updates where you can add new skins for further microtransactions. You don't have to charge for DLC. You don't have to charge for that at all. You can just charge for cosmetic skins that you add with the new content for the DLCs. Keeping it purely cosmetic is something that you could do, and you could further in the future expand mods. Do you want paid mods? Do you want, no co-op and just mods only. It's some sort of play style where you can just allow mods, but you can't go and help somebody else in co-op, if that makes sense. You could have a separate prospector character. You could have a single player prospector. You could have a co-op prospector. These are not hard things to figure out. The Cycle Frontier has everything it needs to survive as a game. It was absolutely incredibly enjoyable. It was a fun experience. There's a lot of players who didn't like Tarkov that loved the Cycle Frontier because it was way more casual, it was more easy. You don't have like cracked out scavs shooting you. You have these little aliens running at you. It's just, you go in the jungle, it's a little bit of a different story, but you know what exactly I'm talking about. Like, it's a much more casual, fun experience, and it's still kind of that Tarkov style game. There is so much opportunity here, and it is a dead serious offer to Epic Games. You can contact me a bunch of different ways. I have business emails, I have Twitter, or X as it's called now. I am in your Discord. It's just like, or, I'm in the Cycles Discord, I think. I might have left. I don't know. It was kind of, people were kind of being toxic. But, there's so much opportunity here. And I truly think I could very easily get a ton of investors on board, and it would not be difficult whatsoever to have a full-on revival of the Cycle Frontier. I think if you give me like a year, and assuming that I had the rights to the game, you give me a year, I fully bring this entire thing back, full swing, and I would treat it like my absolute baby. It would be a little bit of a rough start because, I would have to really, really consider like the investment strategy that I would want from, multiple investors. I don't know if we would need multiple rounds of investment, but what I do know is that this game is already done. You have to change a couple of things to make it offline, to make it single player. You really only have to pay for the private servers. It's just like there's not a whole lot that needs to really be done when it comes to the finances. I think it's a lot of stuff up front. And after that, you become profitable after, 6 months to a year. I mean, you add in all, like I said, I want access to all the assets. I want to be able to purchase outright, full rights to me, assets, the entire IP, everything. And that means all the old microtransactions that were already set up. There's already connections with Steam. Most of the work is done. And to essentially let this game completely die is really insane to me. And, just know, like, Epic, YAGER, if you want money, I know you like money. If you want money, I might be able to get you a nice chunk of change. So I wish there was a better way to go about this and reach out, but it's just one of those things. Like, I feel like I'm the only person that sees the potential here, so I've fully laid out the blueprint publicly. Doesn't have to be me that does it. If it's $1 million idea, hey, I don't need to make $1 million off of it. As long as I get to play the Cycle Frontier again one day, that's good enough for me. It's not really about the money. It's just the money would come with it, and I think it would be very, very sustainable with the current blueprint that's already laid out for the game. So if I did have to quit my full-time job just to work on this game, I would be able to do it because I think the finances would allow it. Let me know what you guys think down below. I doubt this video gets that many views, but hey, if it gets a lot, the more traction, the better. And, the more, decibel chance that I would be able to get in touch with somebody that's, Epic related and or Jaeger Studio related. So, it's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. I'm out.